Hello everyone, and welcome to today's deck profile. Today we will be going over the Timelords. This is an archetype of level 10 monsters you can normal summon to deal some absolutely heinous burn damage during the opponent's, or during the battle phase. I'm gonna hop right into this deck. It's something that I got recently, so I hope you all enjoy. First card, we're playing 3 copies of Time Maiden. If you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. This can be treated as 2 tributes for the tribute summon of a Time Lord monster. You can tribute this card to add a Time Lord monster with 0 attack from your deck to your hand. You can banish this from your graveyard to special a Time Lord monster with 0 attack from your deck, ignoring summon conditions. You cannot special summon any other monsters the turn you activate this effect. This is a really great starter for the deck if you're unable to find a Time Lord from the get-go. It's searchable with cards like Piri-Reis Map or 1-for-1. So really just a great way to get your turn going and to get the right Time Lord into your hand. Next, I play 3 copies of Mikion, the Time Lord. Cannot be special summoned from the deck if you control no monsters. You can normally this card without tributing. It cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects, and you take no battle damage from attacks involving this card. At the end of the battle phase, if this card battled, have your opponent's life points. Now, all Time Lords, aside from one that we'll get to towards the end, have the first couple of effects. They can't be special from the deck. If you control no monsters, you can normal summon it without tributing. Can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. You take no battle damage. And during your standby phase, shuffle it into the deck. The real difference with these Time Lords, other than the name, is the effect it gets at the end of the battle phase when it battles. So that's really what I'm going to focus on. I'm not going to read that on the rest of the cards, but Mikion's your main damage dealer. Turn 2, you get to swing with this guy. Your opponent's already down to 4k. Really great way to start the burn damage off. Next, I play 2 copies of Metion, the Time Lord. Its battle phase effect is that it can return as many monsters in the field as possible to the hand, other than this card, and if you do, inflict 300 damage to your opponent for each card returned. Once again, a good way to get some damage on board to really start typing away at your opponent's life points. Definitely, if you increase any numbers, I would increase this to 3. Then I play 2 copies of Camion. When it battles, you can shuffle 1 card your opponent controls in the deck to inflict 500 damage to the opponent. It also has the effect that neither player can activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation. Not sure why this is the only one that has that, but who knows. Another really, little burn card to chip away at your opponent. I play 2 copies of Raffion. This card is kind of like Flame Wingman. At the end of the battle phase, if it battled, inflict damage equal to the attack of one monster your opponent controls that battled this turn. So effectively, whoever you attack with Raffion, your opponent loses life points equal to that monster's attack. I then play 2 Zaphion, the Time Lord. When it battles, you can shuffle all spells, traps your opponent controls into the deck. And if this card is sent from field with grave, you can draw 1 card. So really, that first effect is huge. It's kind of like a Hey-Trunade, but a little bit better. Great way in case your opponent's trying to stall out the game. Then I play 2 copies of Sandion. Sandion's effect is at the end of the battle phase. If this card battle, inflict 2,000 damage to your opponent. It is one of the only Time Lords with 4,000 attack points. You can only control 1 Sandion. Really a great way to kind of keep burning. If you've already hit your opponent with one of the Mikions, then you're having the life points again with Sandion, so you can really quickly take down your opponent's life points. For the 1-ofs, I play 1 Gabrion. At the end of the battle phase, shuffle as many cards your opponent controls as possible into the deck, then draw cards equal to the number shuffled into their main deck. Really great way to add some consistency to this deck. The other 1-off I play is 1 Lazion. This card shuffles all cards from your opponent's graveyard into the deck, and when your opponent draws a card, they take 1,000 points of damage. Just another great burn card, as well as a way to kind of get rid of your opponent's graveyard, which nowadays is like a second hand. So just 2 1-ofs that can come up, but normally you're focused on the other Time Lords to get more damage. I do play 3 copies of Periodic Map. During your main phase 1, add a monster with 0 attack from deck to your hand, but have your life points afterwards. And until you normal summon that monster, you cannot activate its effects. The only Time Lords you can't add are Sandion and the 3 of Cephalion that we play. We'll get to Cephalion in a moment. I then play 3 of this card that I'm not going to try to pronounce. It is the Sword that allows you to send monsters from your hand or face a field with the grave, whose total level equals 10 to draw 2. Not a hard once per turn. Every one of the Time Lords is a level 10, meaning you're just playing Pot of Greed to get and getting a Time Lord in the grave, which is important for later. I do play 3 Pot of Extrav. Once again, just another way to get some draw power in this deck. Since all of your monsters are shuffling back into the deck, you don't have to worry about decking out, but you do worry about running out of resources. I do play 1 Foolish Burial and 1 1-for-1 just to get that Time Maiden into rotation a little bit quicker. For the traps, I play 3 copies of Empty Machine. First time when destroyed on the field, it's not. Once per turn, you can activate one of these effects. Discard a level 10 monster, draw a card. Or if it's the only card in your spell trap zone, target a Time Lord monster in your grave, shuffle into the deck to set Infinite Machine directly from your hand or deck. This is a 1-of. You play 1 Infinite Machine, since you can search it off the Empty Machine. You can only activate it by sending 1 Empty Machine from the spell trap zone to the graveyard. Once per turn, this card cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. And you can activate one of these effects. Special summon a Time Lord from your hand, or target a Time Lord in your graveyard, shuffle on deck to set 1 Infinite Light directly from your deck. You play 1 Infinite Light, since you can search it off your Infinite Machine, which can be searched off Empty Machine. Infinite Light can only be activated by sending the Infinite Machine from your spell trap zone to the graveyard. It cannot be destroyed by card effects. Neither player can target Time Lords you control with card effects, or return Time Lords from the field to the deck. Once per turn, if you control no monsters, special a Time Lord each from your hand, deck, or graveyard with different names, ignoring their summoning condition. The big thing we want to summon off this is the ultimate Time Lord, Cephalion. Must be special summoned from your hand by having 10 or more monsters in your grave. Once per turn, you can special 1 level 8 or higher fairy monster from your hand or graveyard, but its effects are negated and its attack becomes 4k. You use Cephalion to summon any of your Time Lords to just dome your opponent for 4k back to back to back to back. He is the quote-unquote boss monster of the deck, so he's just a great way to end it. I do, just to round out the traps, play 3 copies of Stained Glass of Light and Dark. Since every monster in this deck is a fairy monster, you can use the fairy effect, which reads, you can draw 3 cards, then place 2 cards from your hand to the bottom of the deck in any order. Really great way, once again, to make sure you're getting to your Time Lords, but also that you are getting to your Empty Machine. So with that, that is my Time Lord deck profile. I don't currently have an extra deck, but I would likely play 3 of the Synchro, and then some generic rank 10 and link 1 support. But feel free to leave a comment if you have any suggestions. Otherwise, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.